everybody, this is Alfonso, aka the Lawn Doctor, DOCTA. I thought since this is the time of year that most of us are doing our overseeding, or if we're going to do a new lawn, this is the time of year that we normally do it. What I found out though is, and I'll come in the picture shortly. What I found out though is that quite often, in trying to do something like start a new lawn, we typically try to use the things that the pros use, or the things that are going to cost a little more. In doing my lawn, I just did my overseeding. I'm going to save it for another video. But in doing my lawn, I went out and I bought so many things. I have about maybe 11,000 square feet that I'm taking care of. But I wanted to make sure that my lawn looked a certain way. And I went out and I bought the Scarifier, the Dethatcher. I bought the high-end grass seed. I bought a core aerator. But it dawned on me today that not everybody wants to take care of their lawn that way, or they're not looking to get a certain look with the lawn. When I first got into this, I was looking at people like Ryan Noor, the lawn bra with his turf tight tall fescue, just looking like it came out of a magazine, and some of the others, Ron Henry, for sure, Mr. Ferguson down in Central North Carolina, and I wanted my yard to look like that. And truth be told, it can look like that. I'm hoping that it will look like that. But not everybody is trying to get a professional grade look. Sometimes people just want to have a basic lawn, something that they can maintain. It's not going to cost them a lot of money. So I said, on my way from church today, I said, well, maybe I'll just do a video on basically what you need to do a lawn. So over here, I have some things that you're going to definitely need in order to do your lawn. I want to though just show you the basics that you're going to need in order to get your grass growing. Basically, all you need is to have your seed hit the soil, because in order to get your seed to germinate, to germinate well, you need to make sure you have seed to soil contact. Well, outside of having a seed to soil contact, you do want to make sure it's getting sunlight, and that depends on the type of grass seed you use, and also that it's getting water. So if you want to just do a basic lawn and just have a not cost you a whole lot of money, you can just go with the basics. For example, if you really want to get your grass to growing, this is what I use for my backyard and my front yard. This is Jonathan Green Black Beauty. Well, this has been around for a while. It's been tested. But for this bag, it's 25-pound bag, and it covers up to 7,500 square feet. And that's if you're doing an overseeding. If I were doing a brand new lawn, this would only cover maybe 5,000 square feet. I paid $100, over $100 for this bag of seed. But you can get something like this. This I ordered online. You can get something like this. And I'm not pushing any brand or anything like that, but just to show you something like Pendleton Rebel. This bag, it covers 1,750 square feet. It's not going to cover a big lawn. Now, truth be told, is this Rebel grass seed as good as that Jonathan Green? No, Jonathan Green is 100% grass seed. When you look on your grass seed, you look on the back, it'll tell you what percentage of this is actually grass seed. This actually says it has 0.5% weed seed. Now, I'm not exactly sure why you would have weed seed and grass seed outside of a way of saving money. But quite honestly, all you need to do is make sure you have some seed. Now, when I do my lawn, I have a big spreader. I have this spreader, and I'm not pushing any brands, but this is it's a Scott's Elite spreader. This, if you were to buy it new today, would cost you about $150. I got it on sale on Amazon Prime Day. I got this particular one because it has some features that I like. For example, I can lock the handle, so that if my fingers get tired from holding the handle, I can lock it. It also has a side guard, so that when I'm going around the edges of my yard, if I'm going around my flower beds, I can just put this side guard on. This, as I said, if you buy it today, depending upon where you get it from, the time of year you get it, easily $150. Do you need that? No. This little guy right here has been with me for maybe 15 years, and this is the hand crank. All you have to do is get you a basic spreader, Home Depot, Lowe's, some of the big box stores, Ace Hardware. You can probably get this for what, 19, 20 bucks or so. You don't have to pay $150 for something like this, as I said. If you're just trying to get your lawn started, if you're not trying to spend a whole lot of money, this is literally all you need. Some seed and a spreader along with Mother Nature to help you out. Now, what I would recommend, I actually thought I brought it up here, I didn't. Because you do need that good seed to soil contact, I would recommend that you get yourself a dethatcher. I do have a handheld. Oh, it's actually back down there in my shed. I have a handheld dethatcher. It looks like a rake. In order to give you the best possibility of getting that seed to soil contact, you do want to make sure that you're raking up all that dead grass. The thatch layer is that layer that's in between your soil and your grass. And when you're watering your seed, when you're trying to get nutrients in it, if you're trying to take that kind of care of it, you want to make sure that your seed is getting to the soil. If you have a lot of thatch, you're not going to get that seed to soil contact. But instead of buying, I spent a couple $100 on a dethatcher scarifier, which is something that's going to cut that ground, give the ground grooves for that seed to fall in. You don't have to spend $200 on that. You can get you a basic dethatch rate. So in essence, if you really want to get your grass going, all you need is grass seed and something to spread it with. Now, if you want to give your grass seed the best chance for success, you may want to step up and do something like a starter fertilizer. There are many that are on the market. I had to go with this one. Once again, I'm not pushing Scott's products, but I went and got a starter fertilizer. This bag is going to cover 14,000 square feet. Because my lawn altogether is about 11,000 square feet, I'm going to have some of this left over. Now, this particular starter fertilizer, it does not have anything to prevent weeds. Unfortunately, when you're doing your lawn, if you're going to do something like scarify it, if you're going to aerate it, that's going to be a prime environment to get weeds to grow up. If you want to give your grass the best chance, because those weeds in that grass, they're going to both fight for the nutrients, for the sunlight, for the water, and those weeds are going to have a better chance of fighting your grass for those. So that's why we get those weeds that pop up. If you want to give your grass the best chance to pop up, to come up, to germinate, then you do want to get something like this. This is, let's see if we can get this, Tenacity. This particular weed killer is what's called both a pre and a post emergent. Let's see if we can get that there. This is a pre and a post emergent. There we go. A pre and a post emergent. What that means is that it will suppress the weeds so that they don't come up while you see this germinating. You can also use this to kill weeds. This particular herbicide is the only one that I'm aware of that's indicated for new grass seed. That means, in other words, it's not going to kill your new grass seed once you plant it. But as I said, if you want to really get your grass germinated, what you need to do is make sure you're doing your best to have seed to soil contact, to give that seed an environment to get to that soil, and then you want to make sure you hit it with water. If you're a person who you don't want to spend a lot of money on your watering, you can get something like peat moss or compost. Peat moss in particular will hold moisture, and it will also provide some covering for that new grass seed so that the birds won't get it. I'm fortunate out here where I am. It's like a wildlife refuge over here. What I have most of in my yard are robins. As a matter of fact, the robin built the nest literally on the porch light that's right next to my front door, and I asked my wife if she wanted me to remove it. She said no. She's getting ready to have babies, so let's just let her go ahead and do her thing. But for whatever reasons, the robins could care less about my grass seed. they love to come and get the worms. And what I found out is that when we turn the sprinkler system on, the noise and the vibrations from the water hitting the soil, for whatever reason, it causes the worms to come up. And robins apparently have this uncanny ability to hear the movement in the ground. So I have in these trees out here, there is a troop of robins. I want to say this morning when I came out, there were maybe 12 or 13 robins. And it's so funny when I turn my irrigation system on, they line up along the post of the fence out here. And as soon as that system goes off, sometimes they'll go in while the system is on, and I guess they're just getting a quick shower. But the worms are coming up, and they're just feasting on the worms, so they don't mess with my grass seed. But if you're concerned about the birds coming along and maybe eating your seed, you can get something like the peat moss. You can get even straw compost, as I said. I chose to use the peat moss because I do have a large yard, and when I've used the straw in the past, it's just messy. It's kind of hard to get rid of it. So I go with the peat moss. But once again, if you want to get your lawn started and going, you need seed to soil contact. You need seed. I don't know anything about Pennington. I bought this last year because I had some bare spots in my lawn. It actually did a pretty good job. It came up. I had to water it a lot. I don't think that this is going to be as high quality as, say, a Ryan Noor or the Jonathan Green or GCI, some of the other more established, but unfortunately more expensive seeds. What I also do, because I do spray for weeds post-emergent, I went and got myself a little sprayer. This is a 1-gallon sprayer. Many of the things that you'll use for your grass, for your garden, for your lawn, it's going to have a ratio that you mix 0.2 ounces or 6 ounces or something per gallon. This is a 1-gallon sprayer. This cost me maybe $7. But because I also use liquid fertilizer in addition to the granular, my yard is much larger, so I went with something that was battery powered. The handheld pump, there's nothing wrong with that. With the seed, with this little guy right here, which is already paid for itself, with that handheld pump, altogether that was less than $50. The most expensive thing that I bought in order to just do some repair in my yard, the most expensive thing was actually the dethatching rake, and I may have paid $30 for that. So if you want to get your grass growing, you don't have to spend I'm sure I spent over $1,000. You don't have to spend that much. Are you going to get the best results? No, but if you're not into taking care of the lawn that way, some people just want to have decent curb appeal. Some people just want to go out and see their grass growing. It is going to take probably a little longer to grow because if you're not out watering your yard, if you're depending on Mother Nature, well, you may not get as much moisture as you need. In that case, in addition to having an in-ground sprinkler system, I also have just one of the little contact ones that I bought from the store, spent maybe $19 on that. So I'm going to put an estimate of less than $100. If you want to just plant some grass seed, get it going, I would advise get a dethatching rake that costs maybe $40. Make sure whatever, if you know what type you want, if you want perennial rye, if you want turf type tall fescue, if you want Kentucky bluegrass, some people use a combination of all three because each of them have their pros and their cons. But make sure you get yourself a dethatching rake. Make sure you get the kind of grass seed that you want to see grow. I would go with the starter fertilizer because you do need that nitrogen, you do need that phosphorus, you do need that potassium to help to get established strong roots and to help to strengthen that plant and to have a healthy plant. But as I said also, you don't need to get something like this. I use it, it works well for me, but when I was planning reseeding or overseeding my lawn, this little guy right here came in handy. They actually have one if you, like I have arthritis in my shoulders. If you have an issue with turning this crank, They actually have the battery powered one, but this doesn't have an edge guard or anything else. But this guy has been with me, wow, for at least 10 years now, probably longer than that. And it has never, ever, ever, ever failed me. Get yourself some seed, get yourself a spreader for that seed, get yourself a dethatching rake to make sure as much as possible you have good seed to soil contact. If you want to assure that your seed is going to get good moisture, then get yourself one of those little sprinklers. It doesn't cost that much, depending upon how much you're willing to spend. You can get them now, maybe $9. Harbor Freight may even sell them cheaper than that. But get yourself something that's going to put some water down. Or this time of year, we just went through a brutal heat wave and drought. But this time of year, we're getting a lot more rain. The temperatures have dropped. We're not getting those 95 and 100-degree days again. So Mother Nature right now is probably going to be your best friend around this time of year. But once again, if you want to get your lawn established, if you want to grow some grass, you don't need to spend $100 on Black Beauty. You don't need to spend this bag of starter fertilizer right here with $75 or something like that. It actually comes in a much smaller bag. You even have the one that you can attach to the hose. But get yourself your starter fertilizer. If you want to really help that grass, get some starter fertilizer. If you just want to let Mother Nature do her thing and trust Mother Nature, you don't even have to do that. I just overseeded. I just overseeded my lawn. That's going to be in the next video. And my wife and I are working on a flower bed project out here. That's going to be a separate video. I just wanted to come give you guys just the basics of what you need to get your lawn started. I am what you will call a perfectionist, and I just like to do things a certain way. Did I need to spend the money that I spent? No. In order to make sure I got even better seed to soil contact, I even bought a lawn roller. I spent maybe $200 on that. I can connect it to the back of my tractor, or I can actually push it. One of the reasons why I bought some of the things that I did is because I am older. I'm close to 60 years old at this point. I do have to be aware, very conscious about the pain that I'm even feeling right now, even as we film this video. And I did have surgery on this shoulder right here. So I needed to spend a little more because I didn't want to go through that tedious process of pushing that lawn roller. I have a push mower out there, and I also have a lawn tractor. But taking care, starting your lawn, getting your grass growing, taking care of it, it doesn't have to be an expensive endeavor. I spent well over $1,000. You can spend less than $100. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope that it helps you out. Lawn Doctor out. God bless you.